So, welcome to the first episode of Platform 63. My name is Katleho Mawusela KG, and unfortunately for you guys, you're stuck with me as, I guess, the host for the show for the next while. We're going to talk about what this show is about, why we decided to put this show together. But what I can tell you is that you can expect a lot of insights coming from very different people in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. But we're sitting here in these beautiful offices, in this beautiful boardroom at the station offices in Bryanston. And so it only makes sense that our first episode be about exactly that, the station, number one, but also why it is that we've created Platform 63. And joining me from the station is Jeannie. Jeannie, what's your actual title? Because I actually don't know what your title is.
Good
the doer
question.
of everything.
Good question.
Yeah.
The influencer, the doer, the
janitor sometimes.
Janitor. Spend a lot of time in the toilets, fixing air cons, leaking taps, little bit of, booking boardrooms. No, just the jack of all trades, whatever needs to be done.
I guess someone has to work so that everything works,
someone,
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So at the moment, whatever is needed, that's where everyone calls on me.
All right. Well, let's start with the station offices. Tell us a little bit about the business, why we exist, how many of us there are in terms of offices and locations. And then we'll start to talk about Platform 63 and why it is that we thought this was something to put together.
Sure. So we actually, the station was the brainchild of a property development and project management company called brightest. And we had a vacant office, this one actually that we're currently shooting from in Bryanston, just off Pizza Place. And from one big tenant taking up the whole building, they then moved out and we were left with quite a bit of space to fill. So the concept arrived with an idea to, rather than filling it with one larger tenant, to now offer it to your smaller entrepreneurial businesses. So we ended up renovating and putting in a lot of time and effort and thought into how this would look and how it would feel and what sort of businessman and woman we wanted to engage with. And as we got into it, the station, playing on the train station and railway tracks and taking people on a journey from their startup businesses up to successful businesses, even larger corporates, taking them on a journey that they maybe wouldn't have anticipated. We started developing the station concept. And it's very much, it's a quirky atmosphere, it's a eclectic atmosphere. It's exceptionally rich, which is something that the environments, your usual serviced offices, are predominantly more clinical and corporate. We're trying to create a home away from home. You're comfortable. There's texture. There's little knickknacks around so that you feel like you are at home, like you're not having to, tiptoe around because you're going to break something. It's all very much thrown together in a dynamic way, and just to make the experience of going to work more comfortable and holistic. So that's basically what we've been. The look and feel we've been trying to create, which has worked. People love the space, and we do believe that if you're happy in the space that you're in, you're going to work better, you're going to function better, you're going to network better, you're going to meet new people. You're just going to be more excited about what is on the horizon, and our role is to help you get there.
I love what you're saying about being happy because even in previous conversations I've spoken about Simon Sinek, and he speaks about this golden circle around the what, the how, and the why of why you exist, right? So for me, when you say that all of a sudden you move from being an office space to being a place that really is about making somebody feel happy whilst they're working, Now, with that comes obviously the aesthetic in terms of how it looks and feel. But I suspect there's other things that you then have to build around that. What other things are in the pipeline in terms of creating a space where, I suppose, the office dweller / entrepreneur / business just feels a little happier as they go down this journey?
Yes, happiness, happiness, happiness. What we have learned, and by branching out into different locations in Joburg initially, Bryanston being one, Bedford View being our other location, and now setting up a Midrand branch, which is going to be very, very exciting space, I must say. We've learned through the different dealing with, there's almost like a suburb feel as you move through Joburg, and different things make different people happy.
Yeah.
So we've kind of gotten to the point where we understand what the two main things are that make people happy.
Tell me, because I feel like you guys have figured out life now.
Life in Joburg revolves around Wi-Fi
Yes, of
and
course.
coffee.
Okay.
Groundbreaking stuff here. Groundbreaking.
I'm just seeing this equation that's got like happiness divided by
Yes.
coffee and Wi-Fi. And it's a thing. I'm getting a t-shirt printed. It's going to be...
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And that's where we found that as long as people are connected, they're connected to their friends, their family, their work people, they're connected in social media, as long as there is that connection, even with social distancing that we've been experiencing so much of this year, as long as people are connected and they are able to be in touch with the people that they need to be in touch with quickly and efficiently, people are happy. So that's definitely the most important. Secondly, being coffee, it's a very
Gotta get that hit.
It completely.
Yeah.
There are other, avenues to get your fix, but we have found that in the work environment, it's the caffeine, it's collaborating with people around you in the
Ecosystem,
the ecosystem of the office itself. It's staying connected as well. So the coffee and the Wi-Fi, I find, go hand in hand. It becomes very much a social thing as well. Bringing that coffee, that rich smell. It's homey, and it just takes the edge off.
Especially in 2020, it's been it's been a stressful year as a whole.
Absolutely. I can honestly say I think we have our coffee consumption this year has been the highest.
Is that the one line item that's just shooting up?
As long as there's Nespresso, coffee pods, and Jacobs around, everyone seems to be.
Look, I can vouch
happy.
for the coffee. The coffee is really good.
Fantastic.
Mind you, I didn't know how to work the machine when I first got
No. Spaceship.
Yeah, I was like, what do I put in where? Obviously, COVID has been a thing. I mean, we can't have any conversation in 2020 and going forward without sort of acknowledging the impact of COVID. In this environment, it's meant that people can't come into offices. There's been more of a work from home culture. We're now trying to invite people back into spaces like this. What have you found to be some of the biggest challenges in terms of, getting, whether it's companies or individuals, more comfortable with coming back into sort of a formal work environment? And what have we put in place to make sure that we can keep people safe while still making them happy, but also understanding that there is this fear, this apprehension of coming back into a formal office environment?
Absolutely. It has been a bit of a give and take. What we have experienced is clients going into corporate settings in the middle of Sandton, for example, and having rigorous, very, kind of clinical screening done before they get into a space, which can be intimidating. what we've tried to do is still keeping with the protocols of wearing a mask. We ask all our tenants to please wear masks in the common areas. Within your own office, fine and dandy, but just from a safety perspective, to keep everyone else safe, to wear masks in the common areas. We've got sanitizing stations dotted all around the place, which my son loves because he thinks it's water and likes to spray everyone in the face with it.
Everybody's got really clean faces.
He's not coming here. Very, very clean. Very clean. And the standard temperature taking when all the tenants and visitors come in, temperature is taken. Whether that is an effective way of screening someone, we still don't know. But as long as, we're trying to stick to as close to government regulations as we can.
Contact tracing and so forth. I know when we come in, I mean, we work from here, but every day we have to sign in, we get our temperatures checked and so forth.
Yes.
Okay.
So that we have those details should anything happen. But so far so good. We have been operational again since the 4th of May, and not one report or incident of COVID so far.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Yes.
and keep it that way. Okay, so Platform 63, right? This is an initiative or a platform that the station has decided to embark on. It's clearly a content sharing platform. Maybe take us through who it's meant for and why it is that we thought this is something to put out there.
Yes, well, the conversation all started around Entrepreneurship Month in November. And entrepreneurs are not only our bread and butter, they're our passion as well. And to move something forward so that we can actually not only bring entrepreneurs into our space so that we can form part of their journey and help them along on their journey, but also to potentially bring in other elements that could help them in the networking sense, in the financing sense, more brains and heads and ideas going around, the better when it comes to something like this. So out of conversation and out of networking, potentially something starts brewing that could ignite the next, Bill Gates,
big one,
and we'd like to be a part of that. So Platform 63 is definitely about bringing people into a place where they feel like they can move forward in a supported way, and transition from one platform to the next, from one level to the next, to hopefully a place of success.
Okay, so it's really about adding value to the entrepreneur beyond
so.
just sort of the physical infrastructure.
Absolutely.
It's saying that wherever you might be, even if you're not part of our most immediate ecosystem, here's some content that adds value to you on your journey.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, awesome, love that. What kind of interviews can we look forward to? Do you have Elon Musk on the list? Because if you do, let a brother know. I might want to be prepared for that.
Yes, no, there are some exciting interviews coming up.
Sure.
Entrepreneurs, obviously, some that have been down the road over a good couple of years, some game changers, if I can give a little sneak peek, and also moving into the digital space, because we're finding that is the most pervasive and prevalent industry at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you can conquer the digital space, then you're pretty much on your way.
Yeah, it's part of our lives. It's almost like
really
we live in both universes, if you would, at the same time, both the real touch, tactile one and the digital world. Okay, well, Jeannie, we're going to have you back on this anyway, because it'll be good to just catch up and see what the progress of Platform 63 is, but also the station and what the entrepreneurial landscape changes are as we go down this journey. But before we wrap, I'm going to do this to you because I'm going to do it to everybody who comes. 2020 has been an emotionally stressful year. It's been a lot for a lot of people. It's been a lot, right? But there is an opportunity for us to look back in it and find one thing that really stands out. So as we wrap, what's the one thing that you choose to be actively grateful for from 2020?
This is going to may resonate with some people and may not with others. I'm a physical person. I'm a get out there, get going, do exercise, train. It's how I function. The one thing that I will remember that I will never take for granted again is Garmin capability. Because they were down for 5 days this year.
And your life was falling
Never
apart.
mind COVID. Never mind COVID. My life came to a grinding halt.
So we're talking about Garmin, the company, right?
Garmin, the company.
Because at first I was like, Garmin capabilities. There was this blank look on my face like, what the hell is she talking about? Okay, no. I'm with you.
Garmin Connect was down for 5 days.
Oh, wow.
And it was literally like my whole... That's my social engagement.
Yeah.
Is Garmin and activities, that come out and loading different activities and making sure that I'm on track.
Yeah.
So when that was down, it was a little bit of a down in my life.
Did you put a little party when they came back online? You're like, it's back!
I will never take for granted that connectivity again.
It's like load shedding. When load shedding
it's
happens.
It's like load shedding. Exactly.
Yeah, active life load shedding. It just happened.
Yeah. Back when I look back on 2020 in 10 years' time, I'm going to remember the coronavirus, but I'm also going to remember that Garmin was down for 5 days.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Garmin. No, I'm kidding. Jeannie, thank you so much. You've got a lot to do because you are the doer of everything here. So I'm going to let you go, but looking very forward to catching up with you in a couple of episodes.
Thank you so much, KG.
Thank you.